What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm hoping that today, if not by the end of this video, the JDM EF2 with the B18C Type R swap is going to breathe for the first time, or at least the first time in this chassis. If you guys haven't seen the last video, be sure to go back and check it out. We knocked off 3/4 of the to-do list, and the bottom half of it that we still need to do is what we need to get done to get this car to turn on for the first time. So today, we're going to be diving into the engine harness, the ground cables, the battery tray along with the battery, which is green on the charger, so we got a full battery. We got to do the charge harness, the battery positive and negative cable, and then obviously program the S300. But I'm super excited, man, because we're cutting really close on time, and you know, the sooner I can get this car done, the sooner we can start diving into everything else with the car, putting the front end back on, doing the alignment, driving it around, make sure everything is Gucci. I just remember I need to go get gas as well too, because we also did a fresh tank, which is empty, and man, we just got to get right into it. But before we get outside and get started, I did get a package from the P.O. box. I want to open this with you guys really quickly because I've been reading the comments in the last couple of videos. Whoever sent this to the P.O. box kept reminding me on each video that it's on the way, and it's been delivered. So I went and grabbed it. Let's go ahead and open it up. Just remember to cut away from yourself, not towards yourself. And honestly, it's so thin, I don't even know what's in here, and I don't want to cut into it. You know, I'm just going to tear it instead. I'm just going to tear it. I did tear into the paper anyways, but compatible with Honda windshield washer reservoir cap. Ooh. This was sent over from Josh. Okay, this is the commenter. Josh, much appreciated for the JDM EF2, and this says compatible Honda windshield washer reservoir cap. Dude, thank you. First and foremost, let's get this thing installed first. You guys see it right here, straight from the motherland. Windshield washer reservoir cap, all deteriorated right there. This is still attached over here because it's separated from the cap, right? And here we got a brand new one. Dude, this is freaking awesome. Wow. Let's go and get this thing installed. Man, you can feel how much more, like, you know, flimsy this is versus the brittled one. Oh yes, sir. Joshosaurus, man, truly appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for this. Definitely ties in this part of the engine bay a lot more than the crusty JDM EF2 unit. I'm actually going to put this in a Ziploc bag because I like to hoard stuff for some reason. Okay, so I think the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to build the ground cables. Minimum, I'm going to do three minimum. And if they're good gauges, I mean, realistically, you don't need any more, but ground cables. So I'm pretty sure I have some extra cables lying around. I can make them out of battery cables if I have them, but I don't want like giant cables in my engine bay. Here we go. I'm just gonna do them over here. Lug crimper. Grab this box. So I need to figure out how long I need these ground cables. Typically 1 foot on each. So factory, we have this bracket 10mm bolt that goes to the chassis. I'm pretty sure a foot will be long enough. I'm gonna measure out a foot, 12, maybe 14. Probably gonna do 14 for that one. This one is actually pretty short. This one I can do like 8. That's probably give it a little slack, 8 inches. And then I'm probably gonna do one on the back as well too. This one right here can probably do 7 on the safe side. So I'm gonna do 8, 7, 14. Not gonna lie to you guys, I wasn't sure about making my ground cable with the green sleeve, but you know, worst case scenario, if I don't like it, I can always make new ground cables in black sleeve. But I think it'll flow well, or at least for right now. Let's get these installed. Gotta chase some threads real quick. REDZONERACE hardware. After chasing threads, look how easy I'm threading this in with my fingers. Easy peasy. I'm gonna be using a 14mm on the back of the cylinder head instead of on the valve cover grommet 10mm. We got one ground right here. I did make this one a little bit longer, and there's no other spot to relocate this relay, so I had to make it an S shape, which honestly doesn't look bad at all. Ground number 2. Ground number 3 right here is going to go onto the transmission bracket, and this one right here is going to tie into the frame rail with the negative ground cable to the battery. So this one's not going to be on yet. Ground cables done. I'm gonna go ahead and put the battery tray on and then run the negative cable just so we can tie in that one on the transmission. Probably gonna sleeve this as well too. With the JDM EF2 build, I spend more time trying to find clean hardware, if not cleaning hardware, if I don't have any REDZONERACE hardware for whatever it is that I'm installing. So the battery tray uses specific 12mm bolts with like 2 washers on it, and between my big bin, my small bin, I can't find those specific bolts. The JDM EF2 didn't come with a battery tray, so it didn't come with any hardware in general, but I do have a bunch of hardware that are the same, but I've already stripped them down because I was supposed to send this box out to get zinc coated. So if you look, the double washer bolts that I need are these guys right here, and they have like flash rust on it from stripping it down with a Moxie acid cleaner. The only hardware that I found are these 2 right here, but these are flange nut and not washers, which I think I'll be okay to run for right now. And this one has a washer. This one's not specific to the battery tray, but I'm gonna use this one for the bottom, and I just need one more because the battery tray uses 3 points of mounting. So if you guys look, 1, 2, 3, and this one right here 4. So I just need one more and I can install the battery tray. I think it's finally time to go through this bin of hardware that's been sitting on the floor for quite some time. I found a galvanized washer that fits perfectly with the 12mm. We can finally clip these guys on right here. Yes, I know there's a cap in here, but ground cable is bolted right there, and it's tied into the ground on the transmission right there. Before I cross this off, I need to build that positive cable from the battery to the fuse box and to the starter. Check this out. All of this is going to turn into my positive battery cable. Booyah! There is our positive battery cable. We have the starter and the fuse box. Now, I don't like this ugly bulky thing, but this is all I had for right now. Eventually, I'll get a different cable and make a cleaner looking one, but for right now, this is gonna work. Fuse box power. We have the starter right there. I'm gonna put a zip tie right there so it's tied together. Power cable, done. Crossing this one off the list. We need a charge harness. So most time the tuck harnesses don't have a charge harness in it. Most of the time tuck harnesses don't have a charge harness inside of it unless you request it when you place the order from whoever you're buying it from. So this harness, I am sure it doesn't have one, so we're gonna have to build one. I do have this one right here, this charge harness, but I don't want to keep robbing parts from the silver car, and the terminals are larger so it doesn't fit the fuse box. So I'm gonna see if I have another, I don't know, like 4 gauge and make a new charge harness for the EF2. Charge harness done. Now this sleeving from Amazon is a little thinner and you can clearly see the red cable inside of it. This is some thick stuff and the green one is thick, but this black one, oh no, I'm gonna have to find a different seller. Maybe a little hard for you guys to see, but follow the red wire. So from the fuse box, it goes behind the prop valve, goes down behind the bracket for the charcoal canister, and then underneath the heater hoses with the throttle cable. And then over here, it's just loosely in place because I'm gonna tie this in with the engine harness. So it comes up over the subframe and then into the alternator. Where is it at? Right there on the alternator. And the engine harness, usually my engine bays are tucked, and all these harness right here that goes through the firewall goes inside and then obviously around. And then I would have that hole open for the engine harness to go through, but because everything is factory, I don't have an entrance through the firewall. So now I'm gonna have to pop this grommet off and just cut it to fit the engine harness to go through, which is not that thick to be honest, but yeah. Battery tray and battery done. I still need to put the tie down, but I'm not sure about this fugly looking bracket right here. We got the charge harness installed. Guys, if you look on the list, we have the speedo sensor, which goes on after transmission fluid. Exhaust is the last thing to do when everything is done on the list and the car is on. And the last thing we need to do today, right now, is the engine harness. So guys, we have a tucked harness and a conversion harness. This is typically needed when you run a tuck style harness to tie in the chassis to the harness itself. If you're running a OEM style harness, you don't really need this, but our case we are. And this is a product from Maxpeedingrods, guys. You've seen me use the K-series harnesses before with a little bit of mod, and it works perfectly. Same harness we were running in Tazzy's car, same harness we are running in my boy Chewy's car, same harness that we are running in my silver all-wheel drive sedan. Now, they do offer a BD series harness in OBD1 and OBD2. So I'm going to be trying out their tucked harness for the OBD1, and I've been told that this harness out of the box plugs and play. You ain't gotta swap, switch, cut, snip wires, nowhere. My buddy Caesar runs this all the time. I called him the other day to kind of consult him about it, and he was like, bro, it works perfectly out of the box. So a product from Maxpeedingrods. This is gonna be my first time running this one from them, and let's see how this harness looks and all the plugs that comes on it. Ooh. Okay, first and foremost, these aren't the bright yellow labels that came on the K-series one. This is like a translucent color. And I'm probably gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna take my soldering iron and I'm gonna like etch the plugs to remove all of these yellow labels, just to kind of make it look a little more cleaner. But it looks really decent. I mean, the loom is kind of thin, like, you know, my ground cable earlier. Over here we have the ECU plug. Again, this is OBD1, so we have the 3 OBD1 plug. I'm not sure if this is the C101. I know on the RSX harness is a C101, but we have this guy here that connects to the conversion harness. I'll show you guys that in a second. This is like a power bank for all the fuel injectors and such. And then over here we have, let's see, we have the fan wiring, we have VSS. And then it's cool that they bundle all the harnesses together based off the location, right? So over here we have TPS map either a control valve, that's by itself. This harness here, we have 2 for the distributor right here, ECT under the distributor. We have the reverse on the transmission, H2O, this is for the cluster, VTS, this is VTEC solenoid, and starter signal wire. Another thing that I'm noticing is that this harness does not have a VTEC pressure switch, which I hope is bypassed in here, because if it isn't, if we throw a check engine light for it, then we're gonna have to like do some wiring here. But that's kind of typical with all the tuck harnesses as well. They eliminate VTEC pressure switch unless you select to have it in there from a company that allow you to add the VTEC pressure switch into it. On this one right here, we have the 4 injector wiring. We have IAT sensor. This is the intake air temp on the intake manifold. If you're OBD2 on the intake arm, we have oil pressure sensor, alternator for the OBD1 and OBD0 alternators. OBD2 is squared, and we have an O2 sensor plug right here as well too. So it pretty much has everything here aside from VTEC pressure switch, but then again, you can always bypass it. I also noticed right here is 2 extra wires, so that's pretty cool. On this end, not entirely sure where it goes, but okay, well, I mean, not that I need 2 extra wires for anything else. This right here is a wire conversion harness, and you guys remember I unboxed this a long time ago. I got it for a killer deal on eBay, and this is something I've ran before. The cool thing is they offer the sub harness along with this conversion harness. If your chassis is an SI, you don't use this plug here, right? You plug into the 6-pin connector on the passenger, in your case passenger shock tower. If your car is a standard model or a base model, you have to connect this jumper to the 6-pin and then run this all the way to the driver's side, left-hand drive, to connect to the shock tower plug. I don't remember what these 3 wires are. I think 2 of them for reverse, and then don't remember off tops what the 3rd wire is. But realistically, you can turn the car on without this. And I also noticed that this is a plug-and-play harness, so you just plug this into your OBD0 ECU harness. Woo, that is a tight fit. All right, guys, Maxpeedingrod tucked OBD1 BD series harness fully installed. So starting up from the front here, we have the reverse switch that plugged in perfect. We got the starter down here, VTEC solenoid, we have the ECT, we have the H2O for the cluster, distributor plugs right here, fan, ground, I need to tighten that up. We have electrical VSS down low, but right now it's just tucked away because I am going to be using cable driven speed sensor. And then up here in the manifold, we have map sensor, TPS sensor, outer air control valve, all plugged in right there. We have IAT 4321 injector. Going to the back side, we have the alternator, green plug. Down low, we have the oil pressure sensor right next to the filter. The one hanging out right there is knock sensor because my engine doesn't have the plug there. Might be a little hard to see, but I don't have a knock sensor on this engine, and it's just gonna loosely hang out. And then we have O2 sensor, which is just hanging out right here because we need to connect one when we build the exhaust system. And the thing I like about the Maxpeedingrod harness, from what I can see, is that everything is lengthy, which is good because that means all the plugs are going to like make it to their home location. The only thing about it is that it's so damn long that there's a lot of slack. So if you guys look down here, I bundled the harness, all the slack, and I zip tied it to the intake manifold just to kind of like tuck it out of the way so you don't really see it, right? And then if you guys look right here, I pulled the grommet off. I cut a little piece of it right there and fed each plug individually through the firewall. And inside the car here, we have plenty of length for the ECU. So that's freaking awesome. It looks really good without all the yellow labels. Everything's plugged up, guys, and realistically it's just fluid, conversion harness, program ECU, fuel. This is crazy. This is crazy. Aside from the exhaust, everything on the to-do list is done. Excuse me for not knowing this, but what the f is that? And what the f is that? Dude, this thing only has 2 freaking plugs. 2 freaking plugs. And they don't even look like the OBD0 like ECU plugs, to be honest, man. Like, first of all, one's blue and one's yellow. Let me try to pop this thing off real quick. Guys, I have no idea what that is, and I have no idea what any of these pinouts do. And the reason why I say that is because this conversion harness connects harness, ECU, and this right here goes to the brown plug on, in my case, right hand drive, right side shock tower. And these 3 guys, probably gonna leave it unplugged because you don't need it to turn the car on, but this one is probably gonna be too short to go from the ECU across to the right hand drive driver's side. So a lot of the functions here, like the starter and all that, it's not going to work, right? So the thing about the ECU is this one right here, 12 volt. I mean, it's pretty simple if I just turn the car on with power and then probe to see which one is 12 volt on the carbureted plug. This one right here in the back side is fuel pump, which I think this one is going to be tied into my fuel pump relay that we built in the car a couple videos ago. This one right here, VSS. This one right here goes to the cluster, MIL. This is like the check engine light, which again I don't need because I'm going to be running S300, VBU, and then ELD. So these two right here are extra wires. This one right here is for check engine light. You just ground it, so you put it on the switch, you ground it, it'll flash on your cluster. But as far as trying to figure out these plug to the plug that's inside the car, that's going to be a mission within itself. So I think what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna carry this video on till tomorrow, just because I need to find plugs to make an adapter, a male female, of this plug here, so we can extend it from the ECU to the right side of my car. And then I got to figure out all the pinouts and probes and trying to figure out what these function of wires are inside the car. Plus it's 9 o'clock right now, so I just want to like spend time to figure this out. And don't worry, guys, in part of converting your dual carb to EFI, I will share everything I find out in this video. So let me take care of this. So last night I dove into the EF2 off camera and tracked all the wires I need to run the conversion harness. Now I was already wrapped up, I was already done for the night, and I was on the phone with the homie Tazzy, and we were just kind of talking about a bunch of stuff coming up here and, you know, the trip down to SoCal. And as I was on the phone, I closed the garage, but I failed to check the tracks. So I've been working obviously on that corner of the garage because that's where the EF2 is at, and this bar tilted towards the track, and when I closed the garage, it kind of like acted like a stilt, and while this side was going down, that side stuck up and threw the entire door off track, and the cable over there is completely unwound. And this whole side, that door was freaking hanging, all the rollers fell off, and man, it took me like 2 hours to like try to align it to bring it back down to close the garage for the night. So you can see it's still crooked. And what I got to do right now before I work on the car, because it's going to be a hassle to like keep walking in and out of the house to go around to the EF2. So what I need to do is I need to clear out all my stuff right here so I can access that to reattach the cable and all that. I've done it like 2 or 3 times before, but it's just a little harder now the way I kind of have my garage laid out with the shelving in the way. But I got to take care of that so I can dive into the EF2 and get it turned on. I already went to go get gas as well too, and I already got all the wires and everything that I need to like pin into the ECU portion of the EF2. I'm trying to turn this car on today, like today. So quick little update, guys. I fixed the cable on that side, and this one was already tensioned, so I opened it and then I closed it, and then I opened it again, and then this freaking cable jumped off. So right here, this one came off. And so what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to work on the EF2. I have a little passageway to go in and out of the garage rather than around to the front door, and just try to get the car to turn on. And then later this evening, I'll take care of the garage door. This is my extension adapter from the passenger side to the driver. Now I don't have the actual plug, so I have labeled terminals, and when I make time to go to the junkyard, I'll get the correct plugs. For right now, this will work. Okay guys, so bear with me here. The GoPro doesn't focus. I'm gonna try my best to explain the wiring for the JDM EF2 going to EFI swap with the B series tucked harness from Maxpeedingrods. So the adapter harness, I made it right here. It's already connected to the driver's side brown plug underneath the dashboard, and this one is just gonna sit, I don't know, hopefully I can tuck it up. It's long enough to be able to tuck it, but first and foremost, the conversion harness is a spare one. The new one that I bought off of eBay has the OBD0 plugs on it, and this one doesn't have the plug at all. And because we're gonna have to hardwire this into the ECU plug, well, not hardwire, but definitely gonna be tying it into the ECU plug with like female male spade connectors. So I found most of the wires that I need to run to function the car. According to Wirewire's website, there was only 3 wires you need to like wire in to like run the car, but it is important to have these wires connected for the most part when the car is like operating. So last night I spent some time to like track and trace wires, check continuity. I took my cluster apart to track wires, and I found most of the wires that I am going to be running. The only one I didn't find was the cell light, and oddly enough, when I checked the cluster itself doesn't even have a cell light. So the top corner right there, there's nothing there. Bottom right here, it is the cat, battery, oil, and then over here we have like a solid circle that flashes red, I guess. And then we have nothing else. And if you look on the back side, there's nothing else. It's just empty slots. So there's really no cell indicator on here. And then this one right here is just doors. So it's quite interesting to me, and that's the only wire that I couldn't find. So the other wires you need to run to get this car to turn over is 12 volt with key on, VBU is voltage backup, and then fuel pump right here, right? So these three are important. And then this one is VSS, this one right here is ELD, and then the extra wires are, one is for the cell light, one is for check engine light, you ground it, and then the cell will flash to tell you what code it is. And then the other two are extra wires. So the ones we're going to be running are these 5 right here. And again, I tracked and traced. So ELD wire posted up on a forum that the ELD is a green red wire. So I found this green red wire and another one on this plug over here and right here, and I tracked this one back to the fuse box to the ELD plug. So I'm almost certain this is for the ELD. Although I'm running S300, I can disable ELD, so I'm not worried about it. I'm going to wire it anyways. VSS right here, yellow red stripe, yellow red stripe. I tracked this to the VSS to the transmission, the plug, and I track that yellow red to the cluster for VSS. So I'm pretty sure that's VSS, although we are going to be running the cable driven VSS. So I have mile an hour on the cluster. Hopefully it makes signal to let the S300 know the mile an hour, or in this case kilometer. And then on the blue plug right here, which I'm sure is the main plug, I was able to find this white green wire, and according to the interweb, white green wire is the voltage backup. And this one right here with the battery connected key off, it has constant 12. So this is like memory to the ECU to store like check engine codes, sensors and such. And then this one over here, black yellow, this one has 12 volt when the key is in on position. When the key is off, it doesn't have 12 volt. Now these two, I'm probably gonna run it for my 12 volt source key on, and also the voltage backup. Although I will say, although over here we have this yellow and we have this yellow green. So yellow is constant power on this yellow plug, the yellow wire, and then the yellow green is 12 volt key on. Now the OBD0 plugs ECU chassis, the power wires are separated, like it's on the main plug, which is this blue one, and again for the EF it's like the big A white plug. So instead of tying all 4 wires or 5 into this plug here, I'm just going to split it. I'm going to draw my 12 volt on the black yellow, and then backup 12 volt is going to be on the white green. My VSS is going to be on yellow red on the yellow plug. Then my ELD right here, it's going to be on the green red. I'm not sure if it's green red or green orange. It's kind of hard to see a little tiny stripe, but green red or green orange right here in this corner, right? And then the last one, number 5, is the fuel pump, which you guys remember I built the standalone relay. The fuel pump is going to go from the conversion harness to this right here, which is going to trigger my relay to turn on my fuel pump when the ECU tells it to turn on. So that's my wire, man. Sounds confusing maybe. If you guys pay attention, just the colors that I'm throwing at you guys, if you have an EF2 or a dual carb like right hand drive car, you know, hopefully this helps you. If it doesn't, find me on Instagram or something. But we'll know in a second when I wire all of this up to see if this car turns on. Whoops. I'm gonna try out an OEM ECU first before the S300. This is a P61 9293 Integra GSR. Should work. I'll be honest with you guys, I plugged the ECU in and I did try to go prime the car the first time, and we didn't get any fuel pump at all. Okay, so I called my buddy Simon, Nomis Industries, and I'm very thankful for people like him. He got out of bed, picked up my phone call, I ran him through the situation, and he literally told me your wiring to the relay is wrong. And he explained to me that the main relay that this car doesn't have has two relays inside, one for chassis, one for computer. Like, he was explaining to me a lot of stuff I didn't know. So I kind of got schooled a little bit, which is awesome because now I know for future reference. And he told me the signal coming out of the ECU A7 is a ground signal. And he said that my relay was set up wrong. He said what I need to do is 30 goes to 12 volt, 86 goes to 12 volt switch, ground on the relay goes to A7 on the ECU, and then 87 obviously goes to the fuel pump. And it's a ground signal that comes out, and I just wired it up right now. And he said before you wire it to the ECU, ground that wire and the pump should come on. And I did that just now, and the pump comes on. So right now I'm extending all the wires. I routed everything like they're supposed to, how he told me, and I'm about to connect this to the ECU right here. And when I turn the key on, the ECU should tell the fuel pump to turn on. So I'm gonna go ahead and connect this real quick. All right, fuel pump connection. There we go. There's still no gas in the car, so when I turn the key in on position, you should hear the pump pretty clearly. And it turns off like the main relay is supposed to do. Guys, I'm ready to put some gas in this thing. I'm gonna go ahead and prime this a couple of times, get some fuel up to the front, double check any fuel leaks. Oh, line's getting pumped up. Okay, I hear something funny. Let's do it one more time. We are busting out of the fuel pressure regulator over there. Yeah, I can hear it. Gotta tighten up that a little bit more. I changed out the clamp because this one, the more you tighten it, the more it strips. We're looking Gucci. I just remember while I was down here, the fuse box is missing a relay right there. And I don't remember if that's the starter relay or what, but I gotta go rob one off the other car. All right, I robbed the relay out of the silver sedan. Fire in a hole, take two. I forgot my power steering cooler line is not connected. But it turns on. Power steering cooler installed. All right, take 3. Now I'm not getting fuel pump. I had the 12-volt power wire right here for the relay in the center slot, where I'll get 12 volt with the key in on position, and this slot is no longer working, which is why the fuel pump doesn't turn on. Now I switched it over to a 12 volt constant. I really don't want it on constant because I don't want the relay to always have power going to it, even though it won't turn on until the ECU comes on. But right now it's on 12 constant, and this red one is also 12 constant. So now we have fuel pump. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a solution for that one, just in case that accessory port like takes a shit too, because it does happen. And it's probably why the car turned off by itself earlier. So let's see if the car will hold idle. It turned on so easily. And it sounds so good. None of my cluster lights are working because the dimmer switch and stuff is not connected. We are idling right there. Oh man. This thing to get too warmed up because there's no coolant in the system. But the JDM EF2 with the B18C swap, it's finally alive. And also because we don't have this thing right here, just take off the light bulb in the back. Ain't never got to worry about it. And there you guys have it, man. The JDM EF2 finally up and going after owning the car for about 3 years now, man. And this is like a part of the dream coming true. The car is not in its final form, obviously, and there's still a lot I want to get for the car as we go, but the biggest first step is to get it running so we can get it at least on the road. Now, the Honda Meet is called the Honda Meet. It's not a car show, so the car is not going to be all fancy. I don't know if I'm going to have time to polish the car. I'm just going to finish whatever I can with it, and I'm just going to take it and show it just the way it is, guys. You know, Rome wasn't built in a day. This car, I mean, granted, it was 3 years, but like, just the first step of getting it up and going was not an easy task, especially because I haven't been B-Series in so long that, man, I was literally scrambling around just to find B-Series stuff in my pile of stuff between the garage and the storage unit. But all that work has paid off because the car turns on and it sounds good. I did rev it a little bit off camera. It revs through no problems whatsoever. Granted, we don't have a cell on the cluster. I don't know if it has a check engine light, but I know when we plug in the S300, you know, we can see whatever codes pop up and we can disable a lot of things, which is what I'm planning to do if I can get the tube map from my cousin, because the engine was tuned in my red all-wheel drive CRX. I'll throw that in. Otherwise, S300 calibration has stock GSRs, Type Rs that I can just map into the ECU just to run this engine for now. But I'm excited. That's why I'm talking a lot. But dude, I'm super stoked, and we are wrapped up. Garage is closed. It took me a while to like get it down evenly because obviously it's off the tracks again, but everything's all cleaned up. Garage is closed and my stuff is everywhere. I need a reset. I need a hard reset. I've been busting balls this whole week to get this car running, and I'm literally 4 days away from leaving on my road trip to the Honda Meet in SoCal, Lake Elsinore, and I'm really on crunch time. Tomorrow, I'm just gonna take a breather. I'm gonna come out here, clean everything, fix the garage, have a little bit of relaxed time as well too. And if you guys saw in the previous videos, I now need to go pick up my family from the airport because they are returning back from Korea. So tomorrow I got to do that as well too, mow the lawn. Just an off-camera day, man. I just need a super duper hard reset. Before we wrap up this video, Maxpeedingrod B series, D series, OBD1 tuck harness out of the box works perfect. I didn't touch anything on the harness whatsoever. Can't say about the OBD2 harness, but I can assure you guys that from what I can see as of right now, tonight, turning this car on, Maxpeedingrod BD series tuck harness, 100% approved by me. I will probably buy it again later down the road if I do another B series build. If you know, you know. But anyways, guys, Maxpeedingrod, link in the description below, as well as their K series harness as well too. I've used them many and plenty times in the past. I got 2 more brand new ones on the floor that we're gonna be using for the silver car and my buddy Chewy's wagon. So, but anyways, Maxpeedingrod, link in the description below, and use discount code YSTATIC to save 10% off. It actually helps me out more than you guys know, and I appreciate everybody who uses the discount code because I can see it. So anyways, we're gonna wrap it up for this video right here. I hope you guys enjoy the progress update on the JDM EF2, the first startup. Be sure to leave a thumbs up if you guys did, and if you guys want to stick around for the button up of this car for our road trip later this week, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.